Oh, hi. So, welcome to day 14. Again, congratulations, guys. You deserve a good active recovery day. So, get your foam rollers out. We're going to be doing a lot of mobility and fascial release techniques. So, let's get at it.
Let me be right by your side, cause I know that this is right. Don't be shy, just get to know me. We can take this somewhere else. You and me can find ourselves.
Okay, let's get into a nice gentle march. Arms swinging, knees up. Taking it to a light jog just on the spot. Maybe you want to grab your skipping rope if you have one. You can just get that as a pulse raiser for 30 seconds. On all fours, hands just stacked beneath shoulders, we're going to be doing the cat-cow stretch. So trying to get as much lumbar and thoracic spine mobilization as possible, taking that movement nice and slow up and down. Alright, we're getting into the child pose position, taking some deep breaths. We're going to bring both hands over to the left side, just leaning into that right side, and then we'll switch. Okay, we're going into a shortened version of the up-down dog. So we're staying on the knees and we're coming forward, bringing the head back, roll the shoulders back, and then we're going back down to that child pose. Forward and back 5 times. Okay, let's bring it into a hip flexor stretch. So with that right foot tucked under, right arm raised, we're now going to bring a bit of a side body lean. So leaning over to that left side, taking a few breaths, and then we'll repeat sides. Awesome. Let's take it out to the push-up position. We're going to sweep our right leg behind us and tuck it through beside the hands. And now we're getting down into what we call the pigeon pose to help stretch all that gluteal tissue. Whether or not you want to be on the hands or the elbows, you want this stretch to be comfortable so you can breathe through it and stay relaxed. And then we'll switch in for the opposite side. Alright, sitting up tall with both legs spread out, we're now going into the hamstring stretches. So, leaning that body forward, you might grab the feet, but don't worry if you can't, it's absolutely fine. We just want to make sure that we're feeling that stretch through the hamstring and maybe into that lower back. Breathing nice and deeply and seeing if you can take yourself a little bit deeper. After 30 seconds, we'll switch to the opposite side. Okay, this is our first introduction to the foam roller. So we're now rolling out that right lower back and we're going to bring it up into the right shoulder. So starting roughly around a 7 out of 10 on that pain threshold. It doesn't want to be too intense. Using my left foot and my right elbow to roll myself up and down, and I'm going to get into my shoulder next. Nice. Once I've rolled out my upper shoulder, I'm now getting into the rotator cuff muscles and the lats and the triceps. So I'm going to get up off of my roller and position it on more of a 45-degree angle right in that armpit area. And I can do some small forward and backward motion and also do some internal and external rotation. Maybe 5 or 6 on this side. Then we're going to repeat that whole movement on the opposite side. All right, guys, you're going to absolutely love this one, and it's so important to loosen up the fascia through the posterior neck. We're doing 5 yeses either side. Avoid the osseous tissue or bone when working on the left and right side, and then we're going to do 5 or 6 no's. So just going back and forth, again keeping it nice and comfortable. All right, we're doing exactly the same thing with our foam rollers, but now getting into the gluteals. So you can bring your leg up onto the opposite leg, and that's going to make it a little bit more intense. For you as beginners, maybe just keeping the foot flat on the floor, but we just want to make sure that we're not going above that 7 out of 10 that we mentioned. And we're going to work through any tight spots that we feel through the glutes, hamstrings, and calves. So take your time, 2 minutes per leg, up and down, and just loosening up that fascia. Awesome work. Now we've loosened up that whole posterior chain, we're getting into the quadriceps on the anterior chain. So again, working segmentally, so short segmental strokes up and down through those quads. I'm in almost a push-up position, but with my left leg helping me to move up and down. I can get into that IT band and hip flexor, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the opposite side. Excellent. Now we're getting into a little bit of the anterior shoulder, pecs, and biceps. So I'm using my opposite side to help me maneuver forward and back. And this again, you know, it doesn't want to be too intense. So just working short strokes forward and back. And if we feel any tight areas, it's okay to just hang out there for a moment and let it loosen up.
All right, there you have it. You should hopefully be feeling pretty limber and loose. Keep practicing this foam rolling. This is something that you can do throughout the week. We're just showing you this sequence, but if there's some areas throughout the week that you find needing some extra fascial release or just a little bit of loosening up, feel free to grab this guy and spend a minute or two per body part, and you'll find it makes a world of a difference. So keep at it.
Let me be right by your side, 'cause I know that this is right.